It's Motorhead right here on your Classic Metal Show. I'm so bad, baby, but I don't care. I think that kind of, sums up the attitude of the CMS.
I would say so.
Don't care.
Never will. Just like the Lemster himself.
Exactly. All right, well, you sent over a story here earlier in the day.
I did.
Something unexpected popped up during Friday's virtual meeting of the Indiana Election Commission on the Zoom online video platform.
Right.
An unidentified participant took over the single screen shared among the commission members, numerous state and county election officials, and members of the media, and used it to display a video of a man masturbating. The horrors of it all.
I love this story.
So some guy was able to hack the camera and get in there and jerk off?
Yeah. Well, I mean, all you need is the code. If you get the code to their thing, you just click the code and you're in.
To the Zoom meet.
To the Zoom chat or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A steady orange and black logo beside the steadily moving image suggests the recording originated on one of the most visited free pornographic websites on the internet. So this was just like a loop or something?
Yeah, probably. This guy probably just playing something on Pornhub or something.
Either that or he just sort of like recorded like 10 seconds of something and just like looped it.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. The video ran for approximately 1 minute before the manager of the commission's online service was able to switch it off and remove the alleged perpetrator from the virtual meeting. Now, see this, what I want to know is how did the quote unquote, the media even know this happened?
Because they took it, somebody snitched it out. Somebody was like, this is a good story. I'm going to call my friend at the paper.
That's kind of my point. It's just like, okay, if this was among like county and state officials, how come the media knows about this?
Somebody put it on their fucking Twitter.
Yeah, we were on this meeting talking about the election board and somebody hacked us and put a guy stroking his dick.
Yeah. What?
It's like, why is that reportable?
Quick, we got our lead story.
Yeah, that's my point. It's just like, why are people so hungry for attention that it's just like, oh, I got to run to my newspaper guy or I got to go to my source and go, hey, you know what happened today?
Yeah. You're not going to believe it. I saw somebody jerking off today.
Yeah. They infiltrated our Zoom meeting and put some guy stroking his dick.
Oh, holy shit.
Really? When did this happen? Well, we were just kind of meeting about the election, because of the coronavirus, and we were trying to determine if we're going to be able to, have our constituents go out and vote in person, or if we're going to have to do mail-in ballots or whatever. And some guy like hacked us, and he was like stroking his dick, man.
Hacked him. He didn't hack you. More than likely, you sent the fucking code to the wrong email address, and he just clicked it. That's what happened.
But again, I agree with you, but my point is how come somebody had to run to the paper or the media or something to report this?
Who knows? Because people are fucking childish and
I guess
need attention.
If it was me on that meeting and that popped up, I would have gone, what the fuck was that? And then after you ban it or whatever you had to do, I would have never thought about it again.
I think I'd have had to screen cap it and put it on my Twitter. People need to see this, man. You're not going to believe this. We were talking about funding from the coronavirus, and this guy started jerking off. It was really something.
I like this next sentence.
Okay.
That was sufficiently disturbing, Paul Oakson, from the Election Commission chairman, said after the video was removed.
Yeah, because he's clearly never jerked his own dick, right?
It was sufficiently disturbing.
Does it disturb him when he jerks his own dick?
Well, who uses that terminology? Boy, that was sufficiently disturbing.
Politicians, idiots.
Another viewer proclaimed, again, on Twitter, most exciting election commission meeting ever.
Positively abhorrent.
We were so bored, we were falling asleep, and then some guy started stroking his dick, and we were just like, look at that!
Now, that would give you a laugh. Got to admit, if you were in a work meeting or something, and all of a sudden some guy popped up jerking his dick, would you not just laugh your ass?
Of course. The first reaction is, what the fuck is that? Holy shit, look at this.
Man, look at him go.
The practice of Zoom bombing, is this a new terminology now? Zoom bombing?
That's new to me.
Is this like photo bomb now?
Guess so, Zoom bombing.
All right. Or outsiders using the video platform screen sharing feature to display graphic content to invited conference participants has become more prevalent as public and private meetings across the United States have moved online due to the coronavirus.
Nice.
So I guess that's going to be in the new lexicon now. Zoom bombing.
Zoom bombing.
Chris,
well, I feel bad. You know, we've done two CMS fan parties and nobody's jerked off in our fucking thing.
Yeah, nobody Zoom bombed us or Google bombed us.
We haven't had anybody Google bomb us at all.
God damn it. We're not popular enough.
When we do the next one, I expect at least one chick to show her tits, and I expect somebody to rub one out right on screen. And Chris, I won't even block them. I'll wait till they come.
We've been Google bombed.
I'll say it now. I will absolutely wait till they jizz before I fucking throw them out. I will let them go all the way with it. I will not throw them out like, oh my God, that's tragic. No. And I'll post it on BitChute. What do you think of that? Put a note on it. Hey, at 3321, can you identify this penis?
Yeah. Somebody Google bombed us and jerked off during our CMS, what do we call our chat now?
Our fan party.
Fan party. Somebody jerked off during our fan party.
Yeah. We need to know who this is. Do you know this dick?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of Porgies. I'll know that dick. There was a, what was there? There was
a mole.
There was a mole on that dick.
Did you know those movies? We can come back to this story in just a second, but do you realize that those movies are not available anywhere?
Yeah, of course, because they're so politically incorrect.
I was trying to buy them this week because I wanted to watch them.
Really? Porkies?
Porkies. I love.
Now, wait a minute. I got to stop you. Walk me back. How did Porkies even come into your consciousness? I
saw one of the guys from the movie is now all old and shit, and he was on some TV show. And I looked up his name. I was like, God damn, that guy looks familiar. And I looked up his movie history, as I do with everybody, on IMDb.
Yeah.
And he was in Porky's. It was the curly-haired kid, the main kid.
Yeah.
You know, now he's played like lawyers and all kinds of shit in his career, but he started off in Porky's as the dork. And I was like, oh man, I haven't watched Porky's in forever. That would be really fun to watch tonight.
Okay.
So I go looking, and Porky's isn't anywhere. It's not even available to like buy. Like I couldn't find it on like Amazon or anywhere.
Yeah. You know what another movie is that you can't find anywhere?
What?
There was a movie out there with Sean Penn and Eric Stoltz called The Wildlife.
Okay.
You can't find that anywhere.
What was wrong with that one? I mean, I know.
Well, I mean, it was pretty blatant, but it was like 1984 or 1985. It was called The Wildlife.
Right.
And I've never seen it out there released on any kind of platform. I mean, there's a shitty copy. I think it's on like YouTube or something.
Right.
But it's like real degenerated and everything. But to get a good copy of the wildlife, I've never been able to find that.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, I know this. I got to get those Porky's movies now. Gotta have them.
Honk that pig whistle.
See? Miss Beulah Ballbricker.
Yeah, Ballbricker.
Ballbricker.
Yeah. Oh! What was that chick? The young student teacher. She was getting railed up there, and what was she? They called her.
It's Kim Cattrall from.
Yeah, but they called her the Howler or something, or
something like that, the Moaner or something. I love that movie, man. So good.
Well, that was the most scathing movie when I was in high school. Did you see Porky's? Oh my God.
Yeah. I remember we had to sneak into the movie theater to see it.
Yeah.
We were like 13 years old. I was in 81, 82, whatever it was.
It was 82.
Yeah, I believe
it was 82 because I was in high school. I was in my senior year, and everybody was talking about Porky's. Oh my God, did you see Porky's?
I remember sneaking in. We were in like 8th grade or something. And we had to sneak into we literally had one friend that was old enough, like the brother of a friend or something. And he went in the movie, and then he went over to the emergency door and opened the door, and we snuck in the emergency door so we could watch Porky's.
Right.
At the movie theater that is now the Kent Stage. I still remember where I saw it.
Right.
I remember seeing it and just sitting there.
Well, that was a very risque movie.
Oh yeah,
for that time. I mean, the only other risque movie in that era was obviously Fast Times at Ridgemont High because of Phoebe Cates and unbuttoning her bikini top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is so bad. I'm just reminded me of this right now. I remember I was maybe 2 years older, so maybe 13 or 14 or something, and Porky's was showing on HBO. Like it was a movie that they were running on HBO, and I was sleeping over my friend Scott Purcell's at one night, and so we were sitting there and we were watching Porky's, but his mom was right down the hall, asleep. So we took turns. It was just a small ranch house. We took turns, 10-minute turns, sitting at the end of the hallway so that if the mom came out, we could signal the
Well, that is just a tribute to how scathing that movie was for that time.
Yeah, and just, I mean, you remember back then, dude, you could not get away with shit like that.
No, of course not. But you think about that, 82 and Porky's was just like, oh my God, you see Porky's? Oh, everybody was like, and the only other comparison I can make to that is the early 90s with American Pie.
Yeah, American Pie, Showgirls.
Yeah. So
Showgirls really shook the world up.
Yeah, of course. And it was just like, oh my God, you see Porky's? Oh, we went to see Porky's, And that was the whole thing when I was in a senior in high school. It was just like, oh my God, you see Porky's?
Yep.
What was the kid's name? That curly headed kid. What was his name? He was
the only name I remember is Meat.
Oh, that was the big guy. Yeah. The guy because he was the one always trying to get laid all the time.
Yeah, and couldn't get laid. Pee-wee. Yeah, Dan Monahan. That's his name, Dan Monahan.
Yeah.
He played Pee-wee.
Yeah. I was thinking about that movie the other day for some reason because there was a scene and talking about Caitlin Bennett earlier tonight about the quote-unquote anti-Semitic.
Right.
There was a scene in the movie where there was a bullying this one kid in there and basically said, anyone want to fly a kite tonight? We got some kites around here. He goes, the term is kike, not kite. Remember that scene?
I do remember that scene. Hell yeah. And by the way, Kim Cattrall's character was Miss Honeywell.
There you go, Miss Honeywell.
Miss Honeywell.
Yeah. Oh.
And I think wasn't she known as the Howler?
Yeah, something like that.
I think she was known as the Howler.
Right. She'd be getting up there railed and, up in the mezzanine, and it was,
So good.
That, even though that was, what was it, 82, 92, 02, 12.
Almost 50 years ago.
Almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
That movie made a huge impact.
Loved it.
Huge impact. Because it really, really did stretch the boundaries at that time.
Oh, yeah. It definitely did.
But, that was the, when I was in high school as a senior, everybody was, oh, my God, we went to see Porky's. Oh, my God. It's crazy.
That movie made its money. Listen to this. The budget to make it was $2.5 million. It grossed $111 million.
Well, somebody got fucking rich.
Somebody got real rich. And then they made that awful Porky's, too.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
Terrible. But then everybody said Porky. I don't think I ever saw Porky's 3.
I didn't even know there was a Porky's 3.
I didn't either. Or is that Porky's Revenge? Was that Porky's 3?
I have no idea.
I saw Porky's Revenge. That was okay. That was pretty fun. Porky's 2 was awful, though. I think that was kind of like the tail end of that time, though, because then it got to be a little more cleaned up. Remember, right after that was like Revenge of the Nerds and stuff like that, and 16 Candles and Breakfast Club and all that stuff came but right before it was like your Airplane movies and Porky's and stuff like that. It was like the very end of the sexed up movies, sexed up comedies for a while. And I don't know, have they come back? I don't think so.
No. That was a very, very brief window there.
Yeah, loved it though. Pork. I loved the every time the deputy would call Porky, be like, Pork.
So funny, man.
Yeah, Porky's was so good.
It was just a weird time.
Yeah. Oh. If anybody
Hey everyone, this is our pig squealing car horn. This is our button version of the horn. It comes with a button included. So this is a really loud horn, guys. So we've got it facing down so it doesn't hurt our ears. The black wire comes from the horn and go to a ground somewhere. It could be your battery or anywhere you have a ground source. And then your red wire comes from your horn and go to a 12-volt power source. It could be your battery, a fuse, wherever you have a 12-volt power source. And then your yellow wire comes from the horn and go to one side of the button, which is included. Then you simply just run another wire with 12 volts to the other side of the button and you're good to go. So this is our pig squealing car horn.
Honk that pig whistle.
whole movie is good. It's just a collection of stupid scenes, but it's fucking hysterical.
It's just dumb.
Yep, it's dumb but great.
Just a dumb movie.
Mm-hmm.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah. I wish I could find it to buy it.
Porky's.
Yeah.
Let's see here. See what comes up. Porky's movie. All right. Let's see here. What do we got here? Porky's 1981 is when it came out.
Yeah, it's not on Amazon or anywhere. I could buy maybe this ultimate. They have the ultimate collection, the box set. No, maybe I'll buy that. Used for new for $21. Maybe I'll just buy that right now.
You gotta just go buy it.
I might just buy that right at this minute. Oh, it's from a dude though.
Yeah, all they have is a trailer.
Yeah, it's not available anywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. $25. Add to cart.
Amazon. Porky's the ultimate collection.
Yeah, well, that's coming off there right about now because I'm buying it
for $22.
Yeah. Saw 3 movies.
Can't blame you for that. Look up The Wildlife. You can't find that anywhere either.
I really am buying it right now because that was not showing before.
Right.
When I looked before, it was not there. Oh, I want it. Oh, it's only $3.99 or $5. I'll go with the $5.99 and get it by Wednesday, of course. Let's place my order. $30. Fuck yeah. Sent to my daughter though. Change that address. Shipping address. Payment address. Okay, place. All right, purchased.
There you go. Hopefully it's not a degenerated copy.
Yeah, hopefully it's not some fucking burn. You know, three green discs, marker on them, Porkies. Now, see if I can find me a DVD player to play it. I don't even have one in my room. I need that.
Well, you'll have to burn it.
I will, and that's probably what I'll do anyway. Is just rip it and put it on one of my devices.
Yeah, that Wildlife is Chris Penn, Eric Stoltz, Leah Thompson.
Okay.
And you can't find that anywhere either.
Is that not on Amazon?
Nope. It's another one that's just like nowhere to be found.
Well, here it is for. Oh no, but it's not. That's definitely just a bunch of cartoon animals on the front.
No, that's not it.
Not it. Here it is. The Wildlife DVD-R. Somebody's selling a burn of it for $10. You get it though.
Yeah.
That's it with them sitting in a car.
Yeah.
It's there.
All right.
$10.
$10 for a burn.
Yeah. Perfect. I didn't know you could sell fucking burned copies of movies. Maybe if it's out of print, you're allowed. I don't even know.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
All right.
So you want to buy it.
All right. Well, getting back to this story.
Okay.
The appearance of the masturbating guy.
Right.
The practice of Zoom bombing or outsider use of the video platform screen sharing feature to display graphic content to invited conference participants has become a more prevalent as public or private meetings across the United States have moved online due to the coronavirus. It did not stop the Election Commission, however, from ratifying the coronavirus-related changes to the June 2nd primary election agreed to Thursday by leaders of the Indiana Republican and Democrat parties and the GOP Secretary of State, Connie Lawson. She was probably the one who said this was the most exciting election committee meeting we ever had.
She took the video home and leaked it to Twitter.
Probably.
Probably did.
Specifically, all registered voters will be eligible to cast an absentee ballot by mail, and Indiana will also offer limited in-person early voting and traditional election day voting to ensure every eligible voter has an opportunity to cast their ballot. The bipartisan and commission unanimously agreed to condense the usual 28 days of in-person early voting to 1 week, beginning May 26th and ending June 1st, to ensure polling places are not dangerously crowded by voters on Election Day during the coronavirus pandemic. Hoosiers also will be able to vote in person between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Election Day, according to the commissioner's order.
Okay.
So masturbating dick will not, stop the voting in Indiana.
No, it will not.
I'm sure you're going to be happy about that.
Yeah. Well, you should be. Don't you have to vote in Indiana?
I do.
Well, thankfully, you won't have to worry about some dude jerking off at the poll. Jerking the poll at the poll.
I'm happy about that. I don't want to walk in and have some guy jerking his dick on my ballot.
No, definitely not. It might be sticky. Ugh. Yuck.
Let's see here. All right. Well, here's a question for us.
Okay.
From one of our listeners, John Lennon.
John Lennon?
I don't think it's the John Lennon, but he goes by John Lennon in the chat room.
Okay.
Hey, fellas.
Hey.
I was hoping you could answer my question on air. That's what we do, Chris. We're on air.
We're on air now? All right.
Yeah, we're like Mike Trevisano. We're in the air.
We're in the air.
Do you think it's easier to get laid in this generation's time, or do you think the 80s were easier to get laid? With the rise of Tinder and the fuck apps, I'm sure it's easier now, but also with the rise of the Me Too and everyone's afraid to talk to chicks because of the fear of false accusations. Thank you for your consideration and hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you for your consideration after asking that question. Jesus. Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can go first.
Is it easier? Well, in my day, and I hate to say that, but you know, the 80s are long past. Chris, I'm going to talk for Chris here for a minute.
Okay.
I was not a horn dog in the 80s. I didn't just bang anything that I'm going to use a Jay and Silent Bob, quote. I'm going to fuck everything that moves.
Yeah.
I was not one of those guys. I was a little more selective, so I did not, engage in one night stands, just bang anything that I could get my hands on. That was just not my MO. If there was somebody that I liked or actually wanted to pursue, I would say that I was pretty successful with that. If it was just somebody that I actually liked, and it usually wound up to be something of a relationship. I was not a one night stand guy. Never had a one night stand. That wasn't that thing with me. I cannot answer for today's culture with the whole apps and dating. I've never done that. I don't have an app. I've never tried it. I've never done the dating sites. I've never done any of that because I don't care about it. It's just not, I am more of an organic guy. If something happens, something happens.
Right.
So I do not, I've never signed up for a dating site or an app or a Tinder or whatever it is. Never done that. So I can't answer that question. So as far as ease is concerned, I can't answer that as far as ease is concerned. I really don't know. I know of people back in the day when guys would just pretty much bang anything that were pretty successful at doing it. You ply them with some alcohol, you ply them with some drugs, you ply them with any kind of thing that would make it less inhibitive, and they would pretty much fall in line. I think Chris would more be he could answer that better, because more or less he didn't care what it was. It was just like, I'll just bang anything that moves, like Jay.
Yeah. Definitely easier back then. Definitely 1,000% easier back then.
Why was it easier back then than today?
Because today is not, it's not an expectation anymore. Back then, if you did, back then when men could be men and women could be women, and men treated women a certain way and women acted a certain way toward men, that was part of the damn deal. Was if you did something nice for them, they did something nice for you, and they understood what the nice for you was.
All right, so it was reciprocal.
Yeah, and it was take a girl to a show. She knew that she was going to fuck you. Take her to the football. I can't tell you how many times in high school go to the football game and get your dick sucked in the car in the parking lot at the school.
All right.
Because you took her to the football game and you spent the $3 on the ticket and bought her a fucking drink and a popcorn.
$3?
Yeah, you were like $10 in by the time all was said and done.
Holy shit. $10 was a deal.
So she knew her job.
All right.
So you would drive on, and even just hanging out. When we used to hang out, I would always steal a bottle. My dad had like I don't know what you call it. It was in a lower cabinet and it had like a carousel in it. I don't know what that's called, but that's where he kept all his booze.
Susan.
A Lazy Susan. Well, yep. I used to steal the booze off the Lazy Susan all the time because he was a corporate guy, so he got bottles all the time.
Okay.
So I would take that out. We would get out in the car on a Friday night, pick up whatever girl, go out to. There was a little lake that we used to go to, and it was sit in the car, drink, make out a little bit, fuck, swim, again. That's what we did. It was so much easier then. Now, for a lot of reasons, it's more difficult. I think it's probably easier on some regard, like in high school or whatever. It's probably easier, as an adult. First of all, nobody wants to because nobody wants to deal with the fucking backlash of it now. We're all, maybe it's because we're older and it's not as important as it used to be back then, but they're now, and again, it's hard to compare A to B, but now to get pussy, you literally run through the gamut. It's not all or nothing anymore. Now it's like, well, I could fuck her. Well, what's that going to mean to me tomorrow, next day, next week? And am I going to get calls all the time? And am I going to get texts all the time?
What's the long-term effect of this?
Yeah, it was. Now it's the long game. Back then it was, dude. Back then you would bang a chick and you had no idea what was coming the next day.
But there were no cell phones and there was no internet back then either.
No, but they all had your phone number.
Yeah.
Dude, that was always a thing. My mom and my brother used to make fun of me all the time because the phone would ring nonstop from different girls. And a lot of it was, I was doing something with all of them. But, as I've told you before, I used to sell pot to the chicks and I would just give the girls pot if they'd, blow me or fuck me or whatever. So a lot of the time it was, hey, can you meet me in an hour at the mall or at the plaza?
At the church parking lot.
It was always at Streetsboro Plaza.
Right.
I did most of my weed dealing. They had an asteroids machine and 2 pinball machines and a dig dug.
All right.
And the way that things were configured, there was a space in between the asteroids and the dig dug.
No Galaga?
No, not at this time.
Oh.
And I used to be like, getting that space. I'd have the girl get in the space so that I could kind of get in there and not to do anything, but to pass the weed without being seen, because all anybody could see if they came walking out was my back. So they'd be walking out, seeing my back, and I'd be handing them, a couple of joints or a small baggie or whatever of pot. And then, either we would go somewhere from there, like back, that was before those apartments that are behind that plaza were there.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it'd be like, or we could meet up at the plaza and I'd be like, well, let's go talk about how much pot I'm going to give you in the woods. We go in the woods and then get a blowjob or fuck her on an old ratty couch or something that was thrown away in the woods. Didn't care. Didn't care a bit. If they were throwing pussy, I did not give a shit if I got dirty.
See, I knew you would have the answer before me because that was just not my MO.
Did not care even a little bit. I was always willing. Always. Didn't matter what they looked like. Didn't matter if they were trading it out for pot, I was taking it. Always.
All right. Well, in conclusion, easier today or easier years ago?
Back then. Because, part of it too was that the girls were more social.
Yeah.
In order to get laid today, you got to find a way to get them to come out of their fucking house. And that doesn't happen. And to be honest, these guys are such fags, none of them go out either. They'd rather play their whatever, Call of Duty than bang a chick.
Right.
So they're not out as much. They're not used to being, social with anybody, and therefore they're more awkward and uncomfortable. So, yeah, I would say it was definitely easier back then.
All right. There's your answer there, John Lennon.
Well, even in your high school, dude, forget you because you were a fucking Mormon. But, for everybody else, all your friends around you, they were doing the same shit, right? Hooking up with chicks.
Some of them, I can't vouch for everybody, but some of them, yeah, sure.
They were banging their chicks after the fucking football games or the prom or whatever. That's what we all did back then. It was part of the deal. It felt risky at the time, but when you look at it, it really wasn't. It was just like, whatever.
Yeah. It was, it was just the passage of life.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It was just having fun. It wasn't a big deal back then. It was just having fun.
Right. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up another show here on the Classic Metal Show.
There we go. Quick and easy.
Yeah, it was fast. It went quick. It went fast. It was fun. And my God, I am not a Metallica fan anymore. We'll have more of that, the ABCs with Metallica, in future episodes.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. Maybe some of the other poetry will bring you back.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back next Saturday. Everybody stay safe. I know It's a drag for some of you who got to stay inside and can't do anything and whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to leave you with a classic rock track from a former Beatle.
All right.
This kind of wraps up the last topic about is it easy or not? So I'm going to leave you with some Ringo Starr with It Don't Come Easy.
There you go.
So until next Saturday night, this is Neely along with my very good friend
Chris Hagan.
And we're gone.
Bye, kids.